What's up, everybody? This is Fray bringing you an audio commentary, copyright 2006 WCReplays.com. Get ye goodly game, pause at the 2-minute mark, and go ahead and look at it from Eve's point of view. That he's one of the observers. Look at it from one of the observers. Undead vs. Orc is very much a game of timing, so I think it's going to be more beneficial to see kind of what the Orc player is doing in parallel to what the Undead player is doing than to have the fog of war off. But if it really pleases you, you can turn the fog of war on, whatever the hell you want. Anyway, yeah, get it paused at the 2-minute mark. The strategy I'm reviewing today is it's a little bit closer to cookie cutter than like some of the Orc strategies that I've been going over lately. I guess the kind of the new school of Undead versus Orc can generally be summed up in the sense that you're going to use magic of some sort against them. It's either getting like summons with a Tinker or a Howl of Terror with the Pit Lord plus Banshees, and you basically, use Curse and things like that and abuse the fact that Orc aren't very good at getting Dispel, and, if they do get Dispel, then they're going to have, they're not going to have so many damn Bestiary units, so, you can always mitigate the fact that they dispelled your magic with the fact that they had to pump their money into something other than the stuff that really kicks the crap out of your army. But anyway, this is a little bit more like along the basics. The core army that you're going to see Lucifer using in this game is more or less Fiend Destroyer. However, the thing is, for those of you that have tried just going like DK Lich Fiend Destroyer against Orc, you've probably noticed that it doesn't work incredibly well. And I think it's not that reason alone, but a lot of people do feel that the match is a little bit in favor of Orc. Most Orc players will say it too, although I've had quite a few on ladder that would say just the opposite of that, but at the pro level, I think most people consider it to be a slightly Orc-sided matchup. But you're going to see some innovations in Lucifer from Lucifer in this game on the kind of standard strategy that I think are going to give him a bit of advantage. Anyway, yeah, let's go ahead and see how this pans out. I hope you have the game paused at the 2-minute mark. If not, hurry the hell up, because I'm going in 3, 2, 1, unpause. Lucifer used the standard Fiend build. You can watch any number of like Philbot games or this game, and you can copy that. There's really no need for me to explain it to you. One alternative that I've seen coming out lately is to go for your. Excuse me. Let's talk about. All right, Lucifer's using a Fiend to scout. I want to point out this is pretty important. He's planning to harass with his Death Knight, so he needs to scout with something. In a Fiend build, that you pretty much can only spare a Fiend to scout. But you notice how he turned that Fiend around like the second he saw Zakard's army. That's really important. If you're going to scout with a Fiend, you really, don't just kind of click him on the map, and let him go, and then just go back to building shit in your base, because you don't really want that Fiend taking any damage if you can avoid it. A little is fine, but, you need to keep kind of your screen on him and watch him, make sure he doesn't get hurt. Anyway, Lucifer found, Zakard's army, and has caught him creeping. What he's wanting to do here is slow down the Farseer, because a Farseer can creep a lot faster than Death Knight and Fiends. If you're lucky, you may be able to get level 3 before he actually starts harassing the heck out of you, but in general, if you let him creep, he's going to get level 3 before you do, and even if you both get level 3, it's still not very good, because the level 2 Spirit Wolves are just absolutely murder on your Fiends. They're real fast. They're not quite as easy to kill as the level 1 Spirit Wolves, and they actually do a pretty goodly bit of damage. What Lucifer's doing here actually is using his Death Knight to kind of bump the Orc units down on health. You notice he actually blew his first coil on the Farseer. That's not something I've seen a lot, but it actually does make a lot of sense, because it was either Frostguard or NoCons. I'm sorry, I cannot remember which one pointed it out, but every time that you force an Orc player to use a healing salve, you are costing him 33 gold. I've also noticed some orc builds will actually get their shop very late, like they'll actually start their tech before their shop, and so if you get in there really early and wound his Farseer, he might actually be stuck with the Farseer waiting in his base until he can get a healing salve from the shop, which is not built yet. So basically, I think really what Lucifer's doing here, and the smartest approach in the early game against Orc, is that you want to focus your attention more on slowing your opponent down and not letting him get that a quick level 3 on his Farseer, as opposed and spend a little bit less effort like trying to actually creep yourself. So pretty much whenever you're harassing an orc player, I would go so far as to say almost anything works. You can pick off spirit wolves because they're easy kills and they give you a lot of experience, or you can wound his Farseer or his grunts and force him to back off. It's just the important thing is that you're making him spend money on healing salves and you're making him run back to his base instead of like creeping nonstop. Also, once you have like your 5th fiend out, that's right about the time that you want to start pushing the orc player, because they will be just reaching tier 2, at that point. They won't have the raider yet. They won't actually have the Tauren chieftain out at first, although having him out, you can kind of get away with him being there for a little while. What you want to be looking for is either just to sit there and attack his burrows and force him to repair them. You're probably not going to be able to force too many peon kills or force a burrow kill, but once again, the main thing is that you want to slow him down and force his army to come back to his base instead of going out and creeping or, God forbid, harassing your acolytes, because we all know how painful that can be. The other thing you can try and do is cancel bestiaries while they're building. I really like to do that, but one way or another, whatever you do, don't like put your fiends in a bad position. Even right now, like just going after the easy target of the burrow, Lucifer gets in a bit of trouble here, because the chief comes out, stomps the fiends. Tell me this hasn't happened to you guys. He actually loses one. It's pretty bad. Now watch this carefully. He tried to move block with his Death Knight so the Orc army couldn't get to his fiends. Almost gets surrounded, and just barely wiggles it out of it here. This is really important. Actually, you do not want to lose your town portal or get your Death Knight killed at this point in the game. If you do that, it's pretty much a guaranteed loss, because you're going to need the town portal later. Because once he starts getting raiders out, there's going to be a point in the game where any time that you encounter his army, you're just going to have to town portal out.